able to forget. Just like Rebecca's bleeding corpse on the pavement. Another memory. It will probably haunt me until my last dying breath. Another regret. Oh man. Chief dismisses me barely an hour later, sending me off with nothing but a light pat and another sorry expression. I'm not entirely sure if that's supposed to be reassuring. There's plenty more to do. A lot of people to call and tell, and all of it falls on me. No matter how awful the news I will be, it will be better if this comes from a person his family and friends know. Still, my body refuses any notion of movement. The thought of telling Isabella about this, she'll definitely be devastated. I don't even want to imagine what his grandparents will say. Oh man, that's a whole family gone. That's true because Zach's parents were killed. Ah, that's so sad, man. They're good, kind, warm-hearted people who has given me another family even without me asking for it. They welcomed me, invited me every time, easily reminded me of what having a whole home feels like. I thought I've already forgotten it. Zach's older sister will definitely show up in my apartment though. Ring my doorbell and punched me as soon as I opened the door. Just like the last time. She's right. I'm the kind of person who brings nothing but trouble. She's known all along that Zach should have stopped hanging out with me. Warned him several times. Zach has often laughed her concerns off. I used to think it's because he enjoys the friendship as much as I do, despite a huge part of it going unspoken between us throughout the years. Now he's dead. Another one. Another person brutally taken from me. I thought I had more time. I thought it'd be safe. I acted too late. And in the deafening silence of my car, the only thing I'm able to do is close my eyes, rest my forehead against the cold surface of the steering wheel and scream. Scream until my throat bleeds raw. Scream until my lungs burn. Scream until all that remains of the guilt and chills. Something like that. But very loud, of course. The sun hangs lower when I drive back to the pub and drag myself inside, still too unsure how to break the news. Around this time, the patrons usually start to trickle into the main lounge until it reaches a peak around midnight. Today, however, it remains thin. But considering what day it is, it's not too worrisome for the kind of business G runs. He has always complained about the lack of decent crowd on the week start, although he doesn't really begrudge his customers for it. No one wants to start the week with a bad case of hangover after all, even him. Which makes the concerned look he gives me come off a bit too odd. With the kind of danger we're in, and after what happened to Zach, this swiftly puts me on the edge, even before I can fully process and analyze the scene in front of me.
Something wrong, G?
G ums, but there's another tone of annoyance in it despite his casual and open movements. And only after he finishes wiping a tumbler and carefully settles it face down on the table does he give me an answer. The way he stares back at me honestly makes me squirm. It feels like I'm being stared down by my primary school teacher for sleeping in class again. The sun hangs lower when I stumble back into consciousness and drag myself downstairs. Around this time, the patrons usually start to trickle into the main lounge. Wait, what? We already read that. That's weird. We already read that. Blah blah blah. The kind of danger the suitable. Yeah, we already read that.
G?
Keep going.
Nothing much.
Oh,
Monday's still a slow day for this place. But you might want to check on your friends, kid. Looks like someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed while you were out.
Uh-oh. Another question forms in my head along with a small confused frown. God damn it. And I was thinking about that earlier at the precinct. I hope nothing happened to Isabella, and here we are. Something happened. Jesus. So before a single syllable slipped past my mouth, he gestures his head on the far side of the main lounge. Oh, thank God, she's fine. Isabella has settled on one of the tables set in the corner, in deep thought and with a scowl on her face. From the looks of it, it appears woke up on the wrong side of the bed is a complete understatement. Turns out sleep is not just what some of us need. Even G appears to understand it. In spite of his efforts to look as unconcerned as possible, there's a tense set on his shoulders. A nervous edge lingers in his eyes as it occasionally flickers over Isabella. He doesn't want to deal with this, especially at the start of another busy week. Not that I know how. I don't even know what put her in such a bad mood. But the imploring gaze G directs at me leaves me with no other choice. It almost feels like it's guilting me into doing something about it. I hate that it's working.
You know why I run this pub, kid. No fist fights, no cat fights, no people in sullen moods. Only good booze, bad puns, and off-key singing. Go fix it before it turns into something chaotic.
It's probably not as petty as Isabella's already in that state, but I give him a nod nevertheless.
Sorry about this, G.
He hums something under his breath for an answer and waves me off, turning away and returning to his work without another word. Even with the lack of a sizable crowd, he likes to keep busy. He likes to keep busy. We're the same in that regard. Can't remain still, always has to say moving, doing something, thinking, whatever keeps the brain at work. I leave him to it shortly after. Part of me wants to thank him for all the trouble he has taken for people he barely even know. Once this is over, I should probably find some way. In the meantime, I have this immediate problem to fix. Gotta get to this before it turns into a shitstorm. Oh man. I think she knows. There's a strange lull in this area of the pub. People continue to trickle out instead of in. And this time, only 2 tables remains occupied. Soon, these people too will be gone, and the whole place will be devoid of anyone. Frankly, its current state already lends the place an entirely different vibe. Along with the soothing strum of strings and the steady beat of drums playing overhead, there's a calming sense to this. A far cry from times I've been here before. Far cry! And perhaps it's for this reason why Isabella has chosen this place to retreat. She sits quietly in the furthest corner of the room, in one of the tables set right beside the windows. G usually keeps the curtains closed around this hour, but a small portion of it has been pulled back, revealing the busy streets outside. The late afternoon light pierces right through it, outlining a small form and putting on the surface of the table, where both her arms rest. Ah, the goddamn letter. In her hands, she flips a piece of folded paper, turning it from one side to the other without any purpose. The letter. A small frown creases her forehead while she stares at it. Yet, there's something oddly tranquil in the picture she has unknowingly painted. Something I can't bring myself to disturb, if only for a few seconds. It's one of those moments again. The rare ones. The ones where she's still too quiet. A complete opposite of her usual self, but it's these that often leave a mark. Not her cheery disposition of her lively attitude, but these short few seconds of wordless silence when the softest sight and the slightest movement sings louder. The smallest minuscule things that tell you about the person and the strength more than any words can express. It's these that carve a vivid memory no matter how brief it lasts. And it breaks soon enough. The second I pry the letter off her hands and flop down on the empty seat next to her. She glares at me, annoyed, and just like that, out of it melts away. Gone is the stillness, replaced quickly by the teasing and friendly jibe. Back again to what we're used to. What's easy, what's familiar, where every truth we hope to convey regrettably goes unsaid between us.
You're going to destroy an important piece of evidence if you keep doing that, Belle.
This time, however, no retort comes from her. Without the letter to glare daggers at, she turns on her hands, now clenched tight in front of her. But she's far from angry. A bit upset, maybe? Who wouldn't be? This curse has already gone far too long. Has already taken one too many people from us. Regardless, Isabella doesn't seem like she starts shouting at me. At least compared to every other people I've aggravated, intentional or otherwise. Some light talk may just do the trick and coax her out of this mood.
Come on. If you keep staring at the table like that, you're going to bore a hole on it. I really don't want to OG a new table. He'll pick the most expensive one and leave me begging on the streets.
She levels a quick glance at me, her expression dry and impassive enough to drain every color out of the room. It's as if I've just told her a terrible joke and she's expecting there'll be more of it. Really now? She needs to give me more credit than that. My jokes are funny when I want them to be.
And I really don't care. I'd even take pictures and post them online. Go away, Ash. I don't want to talk right now.
It sounds half-hearted at best. Like what's happening has already sapped every bit of energy in her, and all that's left are the words. Pretty soon, those too will lose their meaning and leave a hollow shell in their wake. It's already unusual to see her like this. Everything has already gone to shit. I'd like at least this one thing to stay normal. So somehow we manage. We continue for the better half of the hour, talking, joking, with her short, feeble responses and banter that never goes anywhere. But it's enough. In the grand scheme of things, amidst the chaos and death shadowing over us, it's these little inconsequential moments that matter. It's her smile, her laughter, when it finally rains, easy and free of her burdens.
Okay, I have another one.
I don't want to hear it, Ashton. Go away.
Go away!
No, really, listen. I know someone who talks like an owl.
Will you leave me alone if I bite and ask who?
A pause, and then she frowns as realization slowly dawns on her. Confusion flashes fleetingly across her face before eventually settling on a grimace.
Oh.
Suddenly, she hugs her arms closer to herself and looks away. Perhaps in her best attempt to stay angry. To no avail. In a matter of seconds, her shoulders shake with laughter she's trying to contain.
You're awful and I really hate you. Just leave.
It's contagious, her mirth. Soon I'm joining her in it, briefly forgetting every problem that has piled up and continues to weigh down on us. Oh man, she's gonna be so sad when she hears about Zach. Laughing without reservation or care until only a familiar warmth lingers once both our amusement ebbs away. Somehow with her, these things have always come easy.
Feeling better?
A little. You're still lame.
But you're laughing right now.